It's always good to start with a little bit of coffee. I don't know how late it is with you guys, but for me it's about 9 o'clock and coffee keeps me going. All right. So we haven't really done this in a while. Hello. What's up? Hello. So today we're gonna do a few things. I want to do a little introduction, Q&A, who I am, where I'm from, stuff like that. And then we're gonna go over some of these. These are zip ties and just some easy stuff. And then, thanks. This took quite a long time actually. So I used to have very short hair, a military style, you know, nice and tight. And now I got long hair like this. It's getting actually a little bit too long. I got to shave up the sides again, but I did do a spark plug. I also did a ceramic mug. I've done quite a bit of different types of stuff, and actually I can show you right now. This is an entire box of things that I've used to break windows, and as you can see there's about 45 items in here, so it's pretty good. Also stuff like for self-defense. These are like for just regular sports, but they work very well for self-defense. But we'll get to that. First I'm gonna talk a little bit about me. Ciao. So my name is Robin, or Dutch in USA. I came to America about 8 years ago. I was born and raised in the Netherlands. I did schooling there, like a high school thing. Education is a little bit different. But anyway, I graduated at 15 and I was still needed to go to school because I was under 16. And under 16 you have to follow school. And I think actually now it's 18. So I joined the Royal Army in an ROTC fashion where I got an education, which was mechanical engineering of cars. Specifically diesel engines. After that I joined the Royal Marines and then did that for 4 years, did Arctic warfare, mountain warfare, paratrooping, you name it. Did some competition shooting against the US military, German, all kinds of countries. A lot of fun, but then my wife wanted to move back to the United States, so we moved there, became a security guard, from there an operations manager. And then from there I took a posting for a FedEx office, or FedEx ground facility, and became the security captain there, which was like perimeter control and like people coming in and out. Then I saw a job posting for FedEx, so I took the job posting and I applied to it. Fortunately I got it. From there I became a full-time manager, area manager, and then ultimately got my own sort of shift. Which was very good. Then we had twins, a boy and a girl, and work was getting a little bit too much. I was working 14 to 16-hour days and I never saw my kids, so I was like, I need to find something else. Then I became a fulfillment manager for a company and did that for a few years, and then moved up into international operations. From there I became the director of operations, and ultimately moved to another company and started my own company as well. And this is kind of like what I do on the side. The reason why I do this on the side and not full-time is because my reviews need to be honest, they need to be unbiased, and I cannot solely rely on income from that. So, you know, as an immigrant I had to work a little bit harder. What is the safety tool I use in my car? That's a good question, and this is the one I prefer the most. Let me see, where's my... So I have a few. Let's see where it is. So I usually carry one of these on me. This is an Atomic Bear. It's a pen that I usually carry on me, so I always have one. I also have a bracelet that breaks the windows, and then my favorite one is it's a knife. It's made by Benchmade. Breaks a window, and it's a shootout knife, so it works very well. But see if we can have a few more. This is one that's very effective. These are about $4.99, works every time, requires no strength, cuts the seatbelt very good. So if I had to recommend anything to anyone, it will probably be this tool. It's a Rescue Me tool. You can find them on my bio. I add these, anything I test actually gets added, but these have been very effective. I broke about 7 windows with them. So I know they work, I know they keep working, and basically what it does is you hold this against the window, you push and it breaks, and was very effective. And like I said, requires no strength. Some of these I failed breaking windows with, and the feedback from the manufacturers was that I was not doing it right. And how I test my product and how I test everything I do is, number one, visible product. So like, this is the item I'm gonna test. And then also, it's kind of like more, I need a reasonable person in a reasonable circumstances to do it. I don't need a bodybuilder to punch through a window and say, yeah, that works. No, it doesn't. It doesn't work. This one, I was most surprised by. This is a rose quartz, like a crystal for like your chakra and stuff like that. And this one was actually one of the most smoothest one I've done. But it doesn't have a seatbelt cutter. But I'm trying to find items that people might have laying around in their purse or in their car and try to break it. That's why I do like a metal jug, ceramic mug. You know, you might be drinking coffee or something. Well, thank you for joining. So what are some else things? This is a self-defense item. So apparently you can strike someone with this, which sounds like a good idea, but number one, you're probably not gonna use it for self-defense because no one walks around like this. Like at any moment they're just gonna go, whoop. That doesn't work. And then secondly, this one failed completely because it didn't break the window. And on top of that, this slapped me in the face as I was trying to break the window. So not very effective. My favorite color is probably red or black. Yeah, so I'm trying to post a little bit more on YouTube, trying to gain more of an audience because I feel like the longer videos where I can actually explain why things don't work. Right now, all the videos from the window breaking and all of that, it's like so fast paced. I have to do like 30 seconds where it's like, this is how it breaks a window and look at this, boom. But it doesn't really go into detail why it doesn't work. Or for instance, like, why did this not work? Well, it's because the material they said they were using was not the material they actually used. This is aluminum or aluminum, whatever you call it, where you're from. And it just compressed down. So the moment I hit it, the aluminum was softer than the glass and it just crushed the point in, and therefore I couldn't break the window because it needs a very small amount of density, like right into the glass. Or for instance, this one had a hammer attached right here and it broke off completely. And then your life-saving tool that you need is gone. And it's even harder to get them out of Amazon, which is extremely hard. Obviously, there are some other things that I carry. Obviously, I have a CCW. We have tasers. It just depends where I'm going. I live pretty far away from Miami, but I travel there, and most of the people are just crazy there, but they're not dangerous, so I usually take a taser with me. You wouldn't have a kitchen knife in your car? No, but some people that I know carry an EDC knife or an everyday carry knife. And there's one from Benchmade that does do the window breaker as well. So it's a good tool to have, and they make other stuff. You got one like this one. This one was pretty effective. Basically, this is the seatbelt cutter, is extremely sharp. You can open up bottles with it and stuff like that. And then it has a window breaker as well. And then this one you can like carry around. So that one's pretty good. Let's see. And then stuff like this. You have tasers. Let me see. So my idea was I have one of the tasers that's like one of the originals, and what I did is it has 2 metal prongs, and what it does is the moment you fire it, it puts 2 prongs into the person that you're trying to tase, but they're pure metal. So I thought, well, maybe I can shoot it at a window and then like break the window because it's like metal on glass. That unfortunately didn't work, but I'll have a video coming out. So, and then now just a quick intro into zip ties and how they break and why they break. And you can do this with like 25 zip ties, 30 zip ties, doesn't matter. What's going on, Owen? Seems stressed. Alright, so the reason why I do usually these, and I've done it with about 14, like just all the way down. It just is really not that hard. So the idea is it's just tight, but if you really think about it, it's just you need a little bit of force to break the connection point. So you can do a few things. You can break it like this. You can break it on your shin. You can even like put your legs between and like sit down and like try to push out. Or if you have enough power, all you have to do is roll in your hands like this, and it breaks because it's not that really not that bad. Same with duct tape. Plastic is a very interesting subject, right? So obviously you know how to recycle, but there's a lot of different types of polymers. So there's like 1 through 7, and what you can do with it is like read about it and understand what is the density, what are melt points of these materials, so that way you can scrape it, you know, and a lot of different recycled materials. I even got out of like metal zip ties and stuff like that, because if you can understand how the mechanics work, all it needs is one smooth side with a few little, how do you call it? Like tooths in it, and then the other part comes on top of it and kind of like sets it tight. So if you know, you can put something from this side in, you push kind of like in between there that is smooth, and then you can just take it out. Owen. Is that not how you say it? Pretty simple name, right? Every time I hear that name Owen, I gotta think of Michael Owen. I think he used to play for Newcastle. My everyday carry is a Smith & Wesson 9mm. I actually am a pretty big fan of Glock. That's what I used in the military. But what I don't like about a lot of these guns don't require safety, and if you have children around. So for instance, mine, this is my box. It has my weapon in it, but it also has a biometric scan. It's up high somewhere where people can reach it. It's locked and secured, because honestly, my biggest fear is that one of my kids gets a hold of it. So every weapon that I have in this house is extremely well secured. It's also not fully loaded. But I did calculate how long it takes for someone to walk from my front door that doesn't know my house, go straight to the bedroom, and then how long does it take for me to reach for that weapon, open it up, stuff like that. So basically what it says is I can get to my weapon faster than someone can in, and it's still at a place that is secure enough. So what you can do if you have children around or you have weapons in your home, you can still put it in a secure location. Ask one of your friends or your wife or your boyfriend, whatever, your girlfriend, ask them to walk from the entry point of your house straight where you are, where you sleep or something like that, and then time that. Whatever that amount of time is, take a second and a half off and then place somewhere where you can get to your weapon in the same time. Might be that you need it in your nightstand, but the nightstand, you can buy nightstands with codes on it or locks, and then inside your nightstand you can have a biometric box like this for guns. Like, it's all fine. You just got to see what works for you, right? I have children in the house, so I need mine very securely, and I still need to be able to get to it before someone can get to me. That's fine if that works for you. But you know your own kids, you know what I mean? My kids are very young, so they won't understand. So mine are unloaded in the weapons case. But it also takes me, you know, I'm pretty good with my weapons. I was in the Army, and then I switched over to the Royal Marines, or Corps of Mariniers. Thank you so much. So yeah, so we're just trying to do a little bit more on YouTube. I feel like I can like talk more about it. I can do a little bit of the review videos. There's a lot of things that I want to do. But like I said, I also work a full-time job, and I have 3 children and a wife, so I have to make sure I'm available to all of them. So I'm gonna start trying to do these smaller YouTube lives, maybe like 15-20 minutes a night, trying to keep up with, you know, the growing demand on YouTube, because I feel like that's where it's gonna be. That's where I can really express like safety things and really explain why certain things are unsafe, or really go into detail what to do in situations, rather than a 30-second clip where it's like, this is what you need to do and now you need to do that, because it's just like, it's too much information for like 30 seconds. Sometimes I have to leave stuff out and do another video on it, you know, and that's not necessarily because I can't make the longer videos. TikTok, Instagram Reels, all of that, they don't have the attention span to actually look. So if I do a really informative video and I spend a lot of time editing it and putting knowledge into it, they won't watch it. I've done it like, I think I've been posting for about 2 years. I've done it at least a dozen or more times and never works. Thank you all so much for watching. It's time for me to call it a night, and I appreciate you, and thank you so much for following me. Please make sure to keep sharing, keep looking. I did post a few longer videos, so if you have some time, go check them out, and then just keep waiting for what's next to come. Thank you all so much.